Hello, and welcome back for another adventure in the cookie jar. Today we are doing the third recipe from the Key Lime Pie Murder. They are the Walnut-Date Chews. That's this page and these 2 pages. So once again, it is a very straightforward cookie. Melt the butter, mix the sugar, cool it, add the eggs, add everything else, add the flour, scoop it up, bake it off. Very simple, very easy, should be relatively quick. Again, this recipe does not come with a yield amount. I'm estimating probably 6. Yeah, about 5 to 6 dozen is what I'm thinking we'll get. So what you're gonna want is to preheat the oven to 350. You're going to need 1 cup melted butter, that's 2 sticks, 3 cups of brown sugar, 4 eggs beaten, 1 teaspoon of salt, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 tablespoon, that's 3 teaspoons of vanilla extract, which seems like a lot considering most recipes you only put in usually at most a teaspoon of extract. Like I had to read that twice just to be like, but 2 cups finely chopped walnuts, measure after chopping, 1 cup chopped dates. It says you can buy dates already chopped at the grocery store if you don't want to chop them yourself. 4 cups flour, don't sift, pack it down into the cup when you measure it. I sift my flour just because the flour I bought had a lot of clumps in it, but I measure out 4 cups and then I sift that just so I have the measurements somewhat accurate. Of course, for some reason, the first instructions, even though it says melted butter, is to melt your butter. You're gonna want these into walnut size cookie balls on a greased cookie sheet. It says they will flatten a bit and spread out when they bake, so keep that in mind. These were my father's favorites. Dolores liked them too. Lisa says her dad likes these best with a dish of vanilla ice cream. Those are the notes on the recipe, so let's get started. Here is everything we will be using to make these cookies. So we have the melted butter, which we are going to add in our brown sugar. And we're gonna let this mix for a couple of minutes. All right, so now it says to make sure your eggs are just above room temperature so it doesn't, your butter before it's room temperature so it doesn't cook your eggs. And mine feel almost chilled, so we are good. And now we're gonna add our eggs. Okay, so once that's well mixed, you're taking the salt, the baking soda, and the vanilla extract and getting those mixed in. So, salt, baking soda, and vanilla. Now we're adding the walnuts. And I'm not sure why, but it says to let this rest while you chop the dates. So I guess we'll give this like, 3 minutes? Yeah, I don't think it took more than 3 minutes to chop these up. So we'll let this sit for about 3 minutes and then we will move on with adding the dates.
5 minutes later.
Okay, so we've let it rest. We're gonna add in our dates. It says these can be done with a knife, or if you put them in a food processor, you need to add like a 1/4 cup of flour to them to keep them from gumming up. Right, so next we're gonna start adding in our flour 1 cup at a time and make sure you get it thoroughly mixed before adding the next. It says it'll be fairly stiff. It is stiff, but it's kind of sticky too. So I'm not sure how that's going to go for my scooper. But our first tray. And just scoop up. Oh, works fairly well. Now, while these are they're scooping pretty well. but they are still sticky. So you really want to try to get them exactly where you want them, because they're not easy to move if you don't want them sticking everywhere. This is our first tray. I'm just going to scoop up the rest and we'll see how many we get. Okay, so I have finished rolling them. We got just shy of 2, 4, 6, 7, 8 dozen, 95 cookies. Now they're going to bake 350, 10 minutes, sit for 2, and then go to a wire rack. Here are all of the cookies out of the oven. So these are the Walnut-Date Chews. We finished them up. Walnut is definitely predominant. Like, I know there's dates in here, and they're kind of tasted, but for the most part, it's a soft, warm walnut cookie. I did end up making just under 8 batches, which is kind of a bit, but it went pretty fast. They were easy to mix up. They only took 10 minutes in the oven. And stuff like this, you don't have to bake the whole batch. You can always freeze the cookie dough balls and then just throw them in a bag and bake them later if you don't have the time to bake an entire batch in one sitting. Totally do that. And I feel like they'd hold up just fine. Now, next week we are doing the key lime pie, which is of course the main recipe in the book. It's what the book is named after. So if you're excited to see that, join us next week. I hope you all have a good one. Bye guys.